You know that saying, let your next move be your best move? That is a fact. And if you think about it thoroughly, you think it through without just trying to be so impulsive all the time. Being unpredicted is cool. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Being impulsive is cool sometimes too, but 9 times out of 10, most, if not all, of the bullshit that I've gone through in my life was a result of a first thought. Oh, well, this is the first thing that came to mind, so I'm gonna do it. First thing came to mind was, oh, defend myself, defend my ego. Uh, don't let nobody talk to you like that. Don't let nobody talk to your mama, like that, and things of that nature. But when I really sit back and look, especially now, like the way I handle stuff now, I'm not perfect. I'm not nobody shining an example, and I'm not. That's not the purpose of these videos. But now, in my decision making, there is a buffer. I let the first thought pass. Okay, cool. Then I have a second, third, fourth, and fifth. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, if all of those thoughts align, then it was a good move. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say this. A lot of our first thoughts have got people, waking up in jail, waking up dead, waking up in prison, like waking up in undesirable position, undesirable waking up in undesirable situations, and that can lead to being too impulsive, not thinking it out, not weighing the options. Okay, if I do this, then what'll happen? Because 9 times out of 10, the first thought that pop in your head, and whether it's a positive situation or a negative situation, you're probably not thinking longevity or down the line or even later tonight. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, it'd be an emotional reaction or an egotistical reaction. Oh, I can't let you talk to me like that. Can't let you talk about my mommy like that or my family or all this other stuff. And then it's not really till we take a second and really when we can examine our thoughts, where we can be like, okay, if I do this, then what will happen? Will that really make me happy? And 9 times out of 10, this is a good point. 9 times out of 10, the first thought, the first reaction isn't shit that makes me happy. Especially not long term happiness. Maybe I'll be happy in the moment, but long term, you ever woke up with a hangover and be like, oh man, it was so I was so happy, I was so ready, I was so gung ho, ready to drink or whatever. But then you wake up tomorrow, you be like, why did I do that? I was being impulsive, I was being, and the older I get, the more I get clarity by not expecting an answer immediately. I might, especially if I'm stressing heavy, I might choose to go on a walk. You know what I'm saying? Walk a couple streets over. And when I'm really looking at my problems, looking at the issues, it's really easy to identify the root of it. And when we get to the root, we get to the reason the fruit is the way it is. From the root to the fruit. You know that saying. And I just say that to say, like, the older I get, the more I analyze my decisions, the less decisions that I wake up feeling like, damn, why did I do this? Damn, why did I do, I rarely ever feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I'm thinking it through. I'm taking my time with it. I'm not going with the first thought in my head. Especially when it comes to lust, like, that can be something that hinders you. Like, if lust is the first thing on your mind and you're going after the first thing on your mind, it's like, bro, you're not even giving yourself an opportunity to have a different outcome. If it's always this, oh, I'm trying to get with her, 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 I'm trying to get her. It's like, bro, it's like at a certain point, it's like we got to realize that there's something within us that's urging us to get fulfillment outside of us. And that's always a losing formula. Like, how many times you done heard millionaires that still have survivor's remorse, that still feel like they can wake up in the mall, it could be gone. And that's a fact. It could be gone. But stressing about it, worrying about it is not going to make it less likely to not be gone. Well, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I kind of tripped myself up, but stressing about it, worrying about it is not going to make that outcome any less likely. Yeah, there it go. There it go. And see, that's what I did. This is a shining example. I didn't go with the first thing I said because that's not exactly how I want to say it. But the second thought that came after that, it portrayed it exactly how I wanted to portray it. Exactly. That's a perfect example. But yeah, but like I said, especially like with lust, and I'm not trying to preach or anything, because shit, we all got our battles, that we talk about or what we don't talk about. And I'm not judging at all, but lust can for sure be in that category. first thing on your mind, oh, I'm gonna say the first thing, and it's cool, but it's like you miss out. I guess this is my overall point. You miss out on everything that life can be, everything that life can turn into when you submit to the first thing that you think of. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's more options out here. And that's not me trying to discourage you from shooting your shot, but look at the reason why you're shooting your shot. Like if you've been doing this for years, you've been, bagging shit, bagging fine shit for years, and you still like feel an empty void within you, like you got to realize at a certain point, this isn't making me happy. This isn't fulfilling me. Because after I conquer this person, this woman, this thing, this goal, this idea, this achievement, then I'm still left with that feeling. So it's like you always chasing the dragon. You always chasing the dragon. And it's like at a certain point, I took a step back and I realized that, I can become the dragon. I can create the flames that attract people to chase it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like you can create fulfillment, and even to a certain point where you can fulfill other people without even trying, just by you being fulfilled, just by you being happy, just by you being healthy, you being on your, just by you being just whole, being a whole person, not being a broken person that's looking for somebody else to fix them. you know if you can really do that, like, that's when your life will transform, truly. If you can really do that and have the discipline to just not go for everything, not go for the first thing that come in your head, or maybe even the second, third, fourth, or fifth. And I think that's really the thing, especially when we're talking about the word fulfillment. I'm glad I brought that up. Like fulfillment. Hmm. Let me get this a second. Hmm. Yeah, fulfillment can be created at any point. You know what I'm saying? Like at any point, like you just got to be happy with whatever's happening, and not choose to have a negative outlook on it. Today, I had a great day at work, and it was the first time in a long time that I felt like this throughout the whole shift. I wasn't looking at my phone, waiting for 5 o'clock. Wait for clock out time. I wasn't doing none of that. But I chose to have a good outlook on it. We was busy as fuck today, the busiest damn day. Uh, the busiest day of the week for us, but I handled it and I got through it, and I didn't let all this workload, over just weigh me down, and it really felt good, and it feels good to do that, honestly. It really does feel good. So yeah, I'll just leave y'all with that, man. Hey, do with that information as you will. Like I said, I don't want to be an example. I'm not trying to put my pedestalize myself at all. That ain't the point of these videos. But it's a little insight for maybe something you haven't thought of, or maybe you've been thinking about it. And I'm telling you, the results are great and they're everlasting. You know what I'm saying? They last a long time. Even when I do have bad days, I still can go back to, I won't even say my training, but I can go back to my reprogramming and still find relief in that. Even my bad days, they're not as bad as they used to be, which is crazy to think about. Like, because but a bad day is never, I've never had a 10 bad day. Like everything is terrible. Like 10, the worst type, my bad days, they're like a 4, maybe a 5 at the worst. But, but I have the ability to, check in with myself, you know what I'm saying? And make sure that I'm good. So I just ask, if you want change, try it out, try it out or not.